Roxanne, so great to have you. Welcome to Yahoo Finance.
Thanks for having me.
So lots of new tariffs, targeted tariffs by the Biden administration. Talk to us about some of the challenges you have dealt with as it pertains to trading with China.
Well, for our union, for the Steelworkers Union, this is a very long story that goes really back to the 80s when we've had to use our trade tools to actually help defend domestic industry and jobs. But right now we're in an environment with a president that totally gets it, who has an industrial policy that he's laid across the economy and is recognizing that tariffs are a key part of that policy.
What has China done on the steel front? I think a lot of folks have just normally heard China is dumping steel. What exactly does that mean?
So basically what that means is, and China is in a place right now where for the last, really several years, they've been overproducing products in their steel sector, right? And so there's more steel than they can consume in China. And so what are they doing? Sending that to the world. But the bulk of it comes here in the United States. And it's being dumped at really cheap prices out into the global marketplace. And so that directly impacts steel facilities here in the United States and their ability to compete. They can't compete against that. And so what happens instead is that you have domestic steel facilities that will reduce capacity, which means a reduction in jobs and impacts to communities that surround steel facilities.
What should we expect in the wake of these tariffs with steel prices? What happens to that?
I think they level out, right? And they come to a place where domestic industry can be profitable, which is that's really the gain. When it comes to tools like tariffs, it's about creating space for domestic industry to not just grow, but thrive, really. And I think a big part of what the president did today, particularly in the clean tech space, is to create space for these really nascent new sectors of the economy, of the US economy, to actually grow and develop, and the supply chains that are related to them, which is where a lot of the steelworker jobs are.
What was your experience under the Trump administration? Because we've heard the former president talk about how he's been a friend to the manufacturing space. Did you see that?
So what we saw was, tariffs that were placed on steel and aluminum, largely because our union really pressed hard about what was happening. During the Trump administration, those two industries were in really dire straits. And our union, along with others, really implored the administration to do something. For us, it really doesn't matter if there is an R or a D. We care about those who are going to care about our members, right, and the industries that they work for. President Trump placed 232 tariffs on steel and aluminum imports coming in. President Biden today really expanded the 301 tariffs, but on top of that, he has laid across investment policy. So not just tariffs, but an investment policy to help domestic industry grow into the future. We're not talking about a short-term solution. We're talking about a long-term, generations-long solution to help grow domestic industry in this economy, in this country. And that's what President Biden has done.
President Biden has taken a lot of action. Let's say the Inflation Reduction Action, but a lot of industrial policy, whether it's building new chip factories in this country. You need steel in these buildings to build this. What has been the impact of this administration's various industrial policy?
It's been positive. It's been really positive, and we've seen some increase in capacity at some of our facilities across the country. And for our union, it's really not just steel. I like to say we're the union of everything. We have critical materials mining, paper, glass, rubber, and across a lot of our sectors, we are seeing facilities that are increasing capacity, increasing hours of work, right, as they're working to produce the products that are necessary for the clean energy economy. And that's wonderful. That's what we want to see.
Does the economy feel strong?
Yes. Yeah, hopefully that's a message that a lot of Americans hear. It feels strong, and we see it across a lot of our sectors where companies want to hire because there is so much work to be done, right? And they want to hire, and we're trying to help them to hire the folks that they need to produce the products that they do here domestically.
Lastly, what does the next decade look like for America's steel sector?
Promising. And I would not have said that 4 years ago. And I say that largely because of what happened today, but also the trifecta with the bipartisan infrastructure law, the Inflation Reduction Act, and the CHIPS and Science Act. That's quite literally laid a foundation across our US economy for domestic industry and manufacturing workers to grow. It will be catapulted into the future. And so we are hopeful of the promise.